Okay, wonderful. Is another day that we want to start a new topic. Is a good one. It has been a long session. We have been looking on solar systems. We have looked at a number of solar systems, the history, looked about the design and the relationship of the parts in the solar system. But today we are going now to concentrate on maintenance and servicing of solar system. And your facilitator is still the same, Engineer Thomas Maululwa. Stay tuned, and I know that you're going to learn something to change your skill for the betterment of renewable energy in solar space. In this topic, we are going to look at the procedure of maintenance, the module maintenance, battery maintenance, system records and manuals. We're also going to look at the repairs and troubleshooting of module conditions, battery conditions, control and protection devices, appliance conditions. And the objectives under this topic, we expect at the end of this unit, trainees should be in position to explain the procedures of solar system maintenance, outline troubleshooting and repair procedures of a solar system. And when we talk about a solar system, we are looking about the entire connection from the panels which are on the rooftop, going to the battery, charge controller, inverter, and then taken to the load, that is the main purpose that you want to supply energy to the client. Let's look now at the introduction. Solar system, just like any other electrical systems, require maintenance of its components to ensure effective performance of the system. Whenever there is a failure in functionality of the system, proper troubleshooting and repair have to take place to restore the functionality. Like that, we must ensure that you restore the functionality. If you don't maintain, then your system may fail and it may cost you dearly. But when you maintain, then it also prolongs the life of a system, and it becomes where the performance is maintained at bay. As also mentioned earlier in previous 5 units, PV power systems require minimal maintenance as compared to other power systems which projects for minimal maintenance cost. It requires a simple maintenance to be carried out periodically. So it's not like other electrical systems where we have rotating parts, because when you have rotating parts, then it calls for day-to-day or the periodically maintenance of the system becomes, it need to be done awfully. But because the solar systems lacks rotating parts, that's why it has minimal maintenance. And every part of the solar system is important as the other parts for effective performance. Thus, a technician should keep check on every section for full performance. And upon maintenance, technician should have a checklist or a maintenance form to be attached on what has been done and the day we expect another maintenance to take place. So it's good to carry out maintenance with an open mind and with an understanding, and that's why we say it's only a qualified technician to carry out maintenance on a solar system. Let's look, when we are going as a technician, when you are moving on site and you want to carry out, there are some tools and material we expect you to have. For instance, you need to have a multimeter which helps you to measure the state of charge and even check the wiring, the continuity, if the continuity is still in touch. We expect you to have, as a technician, you need to have screwdrivers which will help you to tighten the loose terminals. We expect you to have a hygrometer that will help you measure the cells and battery storage charge, pliers and connectors, spare switches, and so many as they are on my list. I think if you get the lots, you will go through, you have a good list which you as a technician you need to work with or to have as you appear on the site. Let's now look at maintenance of PV modules. And they say the PV modules mostly they aid to capture the sunlight from the sun so that it can change it to electricity, and PV cells need very minimal maintenance. Some of the maintenance to be carried out include cleaning of modules in areas where there is a maximum sunlight, and especially in arid areas, semi-arid areas, these are too much dust that cover the panels. Modules need to be cleaned up periodically with water and mild detergent. A clean module exposes the solar cell to sun, thus better performance. Regularly wipe the module about 3 months depending on the location. So there's need to maintain your modules by cleaning them, properly cleaning them, and on a span of 3 months or less, depending on where the solar panels are, you need to clean your modules effectively. Another thing you need to do when you are carrying out maintenance modules or solar panels is checking the terminals. You find that terminals, as it continue working and changing the environment, the wind, and there's some connection in the junction boxes, sometimes they loosen. So you need to check out if everything is tight, and if it is loose, then you need with your tools to tighten up, and must ensure that everything is electrically effective to avoid any harm. Failure to check terminals, then you may have a short which may cause the stoppage of performance of any solar system that is put in place. And we normally mount our solar panels on frames, whether we put them on a rooftop or on a shed. So, and they are normally bolted on that frame. So you also need to check, are those bolts still intact, still firm, so that the panels are safe as they are on the structure. Another important thing to check when you're doing maintenance, you need to check on the shading. Do you have any shading around? When you are during the mounting of the panels, you checked, but because nature or trees continue to grow, at one point after some months you find that trees have grown, so you must check, do you have any shading around? And if there is a shading, then what is causing this shading? Those trees need to be cut so that to allow the entire panel to be exposed to sunlight for maximum performance. So the three cleaning of modules with water, checking terminals, and checking the shading are the basic three maintenance that are carried on solar panels. Another part of solar system that is very critical is about batteries, because this is where we store our charge, and during the night the batteries are able to provide the energy to be used at home or in the industry. So it's important to be conscious on the performance, on the state of a solar battery, and we must maintain a solar battery by periodically inspecting and maintaining batteries to confirm on its operation. Although periodic time frame of maintaining depend on the type of batteries, taking care and maintaining of batteries prolong their lifespan and better performance. As we say that life of performance is approximately 2 to 35 years, but it also depends on how you maintain it. When you poorly maintain it, then it will last a very short time, but when you maintain it properly, then it will reach a maximum age as to manufacturer's specification. So we need to maintain our batteries very effectively and periodically. So when we are looking checking on the batteries, you need to check about the flooded batteries. Sometimes most batteries fail, and are due to sulfication. Sulfur crystals form on lead plates and prevent any chemical reaction. This can happen if the battery has a low charge. If the fluid level for battery is low, you need to add distilled water, but don't overfill. The batteries for normal charging every 4 months. Check acid level at an interval of 2 weeks. This is mostly for lead acid batteries, but for dry acids, maintenance free, this kind of needs not normally checked. So we have an advantage when you are using specifically solar batteries. You won't carry out this test. Another important thing is cleaning the batteries. When the batteries are dirty, the terminals, they accumulate dust, and they may prevent the better performance of our battery. So you need to check the terminals, clean the terminals to ensure that there is proper flow of charges as a circuit is made complete. You also need to check on the ventilation. Whenever you are doing the installation, you normally ensure that the ventilation is of good order. So whenever you come across that to do maintenance, you also must ensure that the ventilation that was set before is still maintained. If the client had put some luggages in the room where you did installation of batteries, then it is to your advice that the client should remove them, so that we go have a good ventilation. The air circulating in that room is enough for the battery to perform well, so that we may have a proper or a good temperature. The ambient temperature is good, so that we avoid overheating of batteries. Also, another thing you need to check when you are doing the maintenance of batteries is state of charge, using your voltmeter or hydrometer, and based on manufacturer's manual, you must check, and it should if it is low, reduce load and allow battery to be charged by full. Sometimes you may go and find that the battery, the state of charge is low, which means even when there is sunlight, the battery cannot be full. So it's an advice that you must reduce the load and allow the battery to charge to fullness before you restore the full load. Another important thing is charging imbalance. You must check, are the batteries charging balanced? If it is in imbalance, then you must see which battery is not charging the same level with the other batteries, and this one is very, very critical. The last one is checking the termination connection. Check and ensure that cable connection at the battery is tight and clean. There is no oxidation, no loose connection to cause sparkling, because if you don't do that, then things may heat up. And it's a rule of the thumb that you should never mix new batteries with old ones. This can be termed as waste of money. If some batteries in your battery bank are dead, it's a rule of the thumb to remove all the existing batteries and replace them with the new ones. Otherwise, proper maintenance prolongs battery lifespan and its performance. Let's have a periodic maintenance of installed batteries for better performance. And as we have come from there, we need to go to another step, but we are going to leave that one for the next section or the next lesson, so that we will continue from there. And perhaps if you have a question, you may just write it down in our message icon, so that I can see your message and respond to your question as much as possible effectively. And I know that it has been a wonderful session, and things are going to be well. Thank you very much. Nice time.